Hello, first grade. We are going to do our math lesson for the day, but before we start with our lesson, we need to do a number talks. So we are going to start with some dots. Here's our first example. I want you to look. How many dots do you see? I'm only going to give you a second to look. Okay, how many dots did you see, and how did you see them? You can tell someone near you. Great job. Let's look at it together. When I look at these dots, I see 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom. If you saw them in a different way, that's okay. So now let's write an equation. I saw 4 dots on the top and 4 on the bottom. That is 4 and 4, and that equals 8. Nice job. Let's look at our next one. How many dots do you see? I'm only going to give you a couple seconds. Okay. Tell someone near you how many dots you saw and how you saw them. Great. Let's look at this together. When I look at these dots, I see 5 dots in this group and 5 dots in this group. If you saw them in a different way, that is okay. So let's write an equation about how many dots we have. We have 5 in one group and 5 in the other group. And tell me, first grade, what is 5 plus 5? Let me hear you say it. 10, that's right. So we have 10 dots on this picture. Excellent work. Now we're going to look at one more example with dots. So again, look and see how many dots you see. I'm only going to give you a couple seconds. How many do you see? Okay, think about how many dots you saw and how you saw them. Tell someone else near you. Great work. Let's look at it together. When I look at the dots, I see 3 dots in this group, 3 dots in this group, and 3 more dots in this group. So that time I saw 3 groups. Let's do an equation about those 3 groups. We had 3 dots in the first group, plus 3 more dots in the second group, and 3 more dots in the third group. Let's count those together to see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Altogether, we have 9 dots. Awesome work. Now we're going to look at some 10 frames. Just like with the dots, I'm going to show you the 10 frame, and you will have a couple seconds to look at it. So get your eyes ready. How many dots do you see in that 10 frame? And how do you see them? Think about how many you saw. Tell someone around you how many you saw and how you saw them. Fabulous. Let's look at it together. When I look at this 10 frame, I see 4 dots on the top row and 3 dots on the bottom row. So we can write this equation about this 10 frame. We have 4 dots on the top plus the 3 on the bottom. That means we have how many total dots? 7. That's right. Nice work. Okay, let's look at our next 10 frame. Okay, the same thing for this one. I want you to look at it for a couple seconds and tell me how many dots you saw all together. And pair with somebody else and tell them how you saw those dots. Okay, are you ready? Okay, tell somebody how you saw those dots. Nice. Okay, let's look at it together. Now, when I look at this 10 frame, I see 3 dots in this group right here and 4 in this group right here. If you saw those dots in another way, that is perfectly fine. There are lots of different ways to see these dots. So let's count how many dots we have total. Are you ready? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 total dots. So we are going to start with that for this equation. We have 7. And I saw 2 different groups. So we're going to use those 2 groups for the rest of our equation. We know these groups make 7. So we're going to say our equal sign here because we know the other numbers are going to add up to 7, right? Right. So I saw in this first group 1, 2, 3 dots. So we are going to say 3 plus, how many dots did I see in the second group? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to put 4. And our equation is 7 equals 3 plus 4. But you could always say it this way. 3 plus 4 equals 7. Sometimes it's easier to keep the end of the equation at the end, even if it's flipped. Okay, we have one more 10 frame to look at, friends. Are you ready? Same thing as always. You only have a couple seconds to look at it. So put your thinking caps on and get ready. Okay, tell someone around you how many dots you saw and how you saw them. Wonderful. Let's look at it together. When I look at this 10 frame, I see 6 dots in this group and 1 little lonely dot in this second group. So let's write our equation. Are we ready? Okay. In the first group, we have 6 dots. So I'm going to write a 6. And how many dots are in the second group? How many? Tell me. 1. That's right. So we are going to say 6 plus 1. Now, let's think for a second. What is 6 plus 1? 7. That's right. And if you don't know for sure what 6 plus 1 is, you can always count the dots. Let's count them now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice work. So we know for sure 6 plus 1 equals 7. Excellent job, friends. Now we're going to do some work with the Reckon Rec. So I have the Reckon Rec here, and I'm going to put the beads on the Reckon Rec, and you're going to tell me how many you see. Are you ready? Okay, are you ready? You're only going to get a couple seconds to look, so look really hard. Oh, let me flip it around so you can see it right. How many beads do you see on the Reckon Rec? Tell me how many you saw. Okay, let's look at it together. How many did we see on the top? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We know there are 8 on the top, so we can use the counting on strategy to find out how many we have total from the ones on the bottom. So we're going to say 8 and put it in our brain. 8, 9. There is 1 on the bottom, so we add that together. We have 9 total on this Reckon Wreck. Nice work, friends. All right, you're ready for a different one? Okay, same thing. Look close and look fast because you only have a couple seconds. How many beads do you see on this Reckon Wreck? Tell someone around you, whisper to someone around you how many beads you saw on the Reckon Wreck. Nice job. Let's look at it. We have 6 beads on the top and 2 beads on the bottom. If we add 6 plus 2, how many total beads do we have? Whisper to someone around you how many total beads we have on this Reckon Wreck. 8, that's right. Now let's think. We talked about this in the first week of school. If there are 6 beads on the top and 2 beads on the bottom, which row has the most beads? Tell someone around you. Did you say the top row? You're right. The top row has the most beads. Nice work. Let's do another one. All right, are you ready? How many beads do you see? Okay. Tell a partner how many beads you saw and how you saw them. Fabulous work. All right, let's look at it together. Let's count them. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the top row, and 1, 2, 3 on the bottom row. Let's see, how many beads do we have all together? 7 plus 3. Do you know what that equals? Tell someone around you what 7 plus 3 equals. Did you say 10? Nice work. If you weren't quite sure, you could have counted the beads all together. Let's do that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice. All right, we have one more Reckon Wreck problem left, okay? All right. How many beads do you see? All right, I want you to tell someone different how many beads you saw on the Reckon Wreck and how you saw them. Good job. Okay, let's look at it together. Let's see how many total beads we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top. And we can use the counting on strategy to figure out how many we have all together, okay? So we have 5 on the top, so take 5 and put it in your brain, and let's count the bottom. We have 5 on the top, so 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 total beads on this Reckon Wreck. Excellent work, guys. Now we can move into our lesson. So let me pull it up for us. Okay, I think, there we go. All right, friends, today we are going to be learning about the 120 chart or the 120 grid. You can say it either way. They mean the same thing. So for this lesson, you're going to need to get out your 120 chart or grid, your whiteboard or piece of paper, whichever one you have handy is fine, an Expo marker, an eraser, or your pencil, again, whichever you have handy is fine, and your packet of work for this week that is in your folder. So if you need to pause the video while you get those things out, that is fine. Just push play when you have all your items and we can get started. All right, friends, let's talk about our clear learning target for the day. The clear learning target is, I can count to 120 and solve problems by counting backwards from 20. Can you say that with me? Let's say it together. I can count to 120 and solve problems by counting backwards from 20. Nice work. Today, we will start by practicing our counting. We are going to count to 120. After that, we're going to use our number grid to solve problems by counting backwards from 20. So go ahead and get out your 120 grid. If you need to pause the video to find it or get it out, you can do that. Just press play whenever you're ready. But when you have it out, get it out and put it in front of you, and we're going to count from 1 to 120, okay? It's going to be a lot, but you guys are big first graders, so I know you can do it. Are you ready? All right, let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120. Oh my goodness, are you guys tired? Because I could take a nap after that. Wow, good job. That's a lot of counting, but I am so proud of you for doing it. You just counted to 120. Give yourself a big pat on the back for that. That was great work. Okay, so keep your number grid out in front of you because we're going to use it some more. Oh no, Look at your number grid, and then look at this number grid on my screen. One of the numbers has been covered up. Oh man. Use your number grid in front of you and try to figure out which number I've covered up. Take some time to solve it, and when you think you know which number is covered up, partner up with somebody around you, and you guys decide and talk about which number you think is covered up. I will give you some time to do that now. If you need more time to figure out which number is covered up, you can pause the video now and keep going and just hit play when you're ready to keep moving on with us. Now that you've figured out which number is covered up and you've told someone around you, I want you to share with that same person how you figured out which number is covered up. And what did you do on your number grid to figure that out? Go ahead and tell them now. Nice sharing, friends. What are some things that you said you did? Did you say you looked at the number before it and after it? Did you say you knew that this number was in between two other numbers so you could figure out which number was in between? What are some strategies that you had? I bet you had some really good ways to figure this out. This is what we are going to be doing today, using our number line to fill in the blanks or fill in numbers that are missing, just like this one is missing from our number grid. And in case you're wondering, the number I covered up is 16, but I'm sure you all got that because you are so smart. Okay, let's move on to our first launch. For our first launch, I want you to start by having some private think time, and I want you to think, do you know what the word before means? If you know what the word before means, you can whisper it to the person sitting next to you so everybody else can have some private think time. Nice. Now I want you to have some private think time and think about, do you know what the word between means? Have some private think time and think about it. Great. Lastly, do you know what the word after means? Think about that. If you know what the word after means, you can tell someone else around you, someone new you haven't talked to yet today. Tell them what the word after means. Fantastic. Now that we've thought about that, you guys have talked about it with some of your peers or whoever you're at home with, let's talk about what those words mean. Before means something came first or in front of it. So if I am in my car and there's a car in front of me and a car behind me, the car in front of me comes before me, right? Yeah, that's what before means. Now between, I bet you guys know what between means. Between means in the middle. So if you're eating an Oreo cookie, the white cream is in between the two cookies. It's just in the middle. That's what between means. Do you know what the word after means? I bet you all did. After means next, or it could mean last, or after. If we're talking about after. It means next. So if I'm in my car and there's a car in front of me and a car behind me, the car that comes in front of me is before and the car behind me comes after, and I come in between. So that's how we know what those words mean. So now what I want you to do is get out your whiteboard or your paper, whichever one you got out earlier, get it out. If you didn't quite get it out earlier, you can pause your video right now and get one of those out. It doesn't matter which one, just pick one. And when you get your whiteboard out, I want you to write 21, 22, blank. on your whiteboard or your paper. Say that with me, friends. Ready? 21, 22, blank. And your job is to figure out what number comes after 22. So use your number grid, look at it, find 22, and figure out what number comes after. And tell someone near you when you figured it out. If you need more time, you can pause the video now and take more time. What number comes after 22, friends? On the count of 3, I want you to say it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I heard you all say 23. Oh my goodness, you guys are so smart. So if you find 22 on your number grid and go to the number that is right next to 22 that comes after it, that's 23. Nice work, friends. Let's move on to our next launch. All right, launch number 2 says, Jenny wrote the numbers 39, 40, 101 on her paper. Did Jenny write the correct number that comes after 40? What do you think, yes or no? No, 101 does not come after 40. Jenny must be confused. So you're going to help her not be so confused. On your whiteboard or paper, I want you to write 39, 40, blank, okay? Once you have that written, I want you to find what number comes next in that sequence. So what number comes after 40? You can use your number grid to help you figure this out. When you've solved it and you know the answer, I want you to share it with someone around you, okay? I'm going to give you some time to solve it now. If you need more time, you can pause the video now and finish up. Okay, guys, what comes after 40? The sequence goes 39, 40, 41. That's right. When you used your number grid, you figured out that 41 comes after 40, didn't you? Kiss your brains. Nice job. All right, let's move on. Launch number 3. This one is a little tricky, but I know you guys can do it. For this launch, you're going to be counting backwards. The last 2, we counted up, we counted forward, but now we're going to be counting backwards. So when you use your number grid, here's a little hint. For this one, you're going to want to look at the number that comes before the ones in this sequence instead of after, okay? So launch 3 says, on your whiteboard or paper, write the sequence 18, 17, 16, blank. Can you figure out what number comes before 16? I have a typo, should be before, not after there. You can use your number grid to help you, like I said. When you figured it out, share your answer with someone around you. And remember your hint, look for the number that comes before 16. I'll give you time to work on this now. Okay, friends, did we figure it out? Do we know what number comes before 16? Let's say the sequence all together, but let's fill in the blank with the correct number, okay? The sequence is 18, 17, 16, 15. Wow, fantastic work, my first grade friends. I can already tell you guys are becoming pros with the number grid. Let's move on to our next thing since you guys are doing such a great job. All right, now this is some extra practice for you. You are going to take about 7 minutes and you are going to work these problems. Some of these problems you're going to count forward and some of these problems you're going to count backward. So you need to look and really think about which way you need to be counting. And use your number grid to help you figure out the blanks in each sequence, okay? When the 7 minutes are up, we're going to go over these answers together. So don't worry. If you need more time to work on these once the 7 minutes is up, you can pause it and keep working. Okay? So we're going to start the 7 minutes now. Get to work and use those number grids. Okay, friends, that was 7 minutes. But if you need more time, go ahead and pause it and take however much time you need to get these problems finished, okay? Once all your problems are finished, let's go over the answers. Okay, so for the first sequence, say the answers with me. Are you ready? 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Nice work. All right, let's say the second sequence. Let's say the answers. Okay, ready? Say them with me. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Fantastic work, guys. All right, and for number 3, this is another problem where we're counting backwards. The answer is 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. All right, now these last two were kind of tricky because they're some pretty big numbers. So let's see how we did. Say the answers with me again. Are you ready? 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Those are some big numbers, but I bet you guys did a great job using your number grid to figure out the answers. All right, and the last problem, let's say it all together. Ready? 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. How was that practice? Was it good? I hope so. If not, you can always work on these problems later or do some more at home or whenever you have time. Oh my goodness, you guys did such a great job using your number grids today. We counted all the way to 120. That's a lot. And we counted backwards from 20. And even bigger numbers than that, actually, towards the end. So you guys did fantastic. But did you know there's another way to count backwards from 20? It's to use a number line. I know you guys have talked about number lines some, but we're going to talk about number lines more later in the week with Miss Carter and learn how to use a number line to solve problems like we've done today. So get excited for that because that's going to be great. Okay, now that we've finished our lesson, you have some independent practice work to do. In your packet, you should have both of these sheets. For this worksheet right here that is called Missing Numbers, you're going to do the same thing that we've been doing during this lesson. You are going to fill in the blanks. Use your number grid to fill in the blanks to those problems, okay? When you're done with that worksheet, we have this blank 120 chart. It can't be a 120 chart until there's numbers in it, can it? Nope, it can't. So that means you have to write the numbers. You have to fill them in from 1 all the way to 120. You can use the number grid that we already have if you need help figuring out how to write some of the numbers or what order the numbers go in, because 120 numbers, that's a lot of numbers to remember. So you can use the number grid that's already filled in to help you there. But you guys can do it. I know you can. When you finish both of these assignments, if you have extra time, you can work on iReady Math for 20 minutes. I know we're still having a little bit of trouble with iReady, so if your iReady isn't working for some reason, that's okay. You can do something else. If it is working and your teacher has assigned you certain assignments on iReady, do those first before you just start doing lessons, okay? So remember, work on iReady when you're done with these, but only if it's working. And do the assignments your teacher has given you first, okay? You guys worked so hard today, and I'm so proud of you. So let's finish this lesson strong and finish our worksheets, okay? And we will see you later for more math. Bye, friends.